Hi, and welcome to the Unit 4 Persuasion Curriculum Preview video. This unit contains two bundles. The first is an expository bundle that serves to activate prior knowledge and build structural connections between expository and persuasive writing. Bundle 2 is the longer bundle that tasks our students with writing a persuasive essay. Here we have the standards. I've only listed the standards for the persuasive essay, but all of the writing process standards, those 13 standards, and the standards around conventions and grammar, around 17 and 19 of those numbers, are spiraled into this unit too. As you can see, there are a lot of pieces to writing a persuasive essay. You can probably also see that letter C is underlined, and that's because that piece of the standard isn't in this bundle to be taught, but we did teach counter-argument and reading, so let the students try it if they want to. Still, that's a lot to cover. Will the students nail every piece of the standard on the first persuasive essay of the year? Some might, but more likely you'll see some essays that pick up multiple little pieces and some that pick up only a few, and some students are going to struggle to get anything on paper, and that's okay. This is a spiraling standard. You know we're going to write more persuasive essays. So what do you focus on? Well, you let your mentor text point to what you focus on. Each mentor text is going to have different strengths, but as you select 3 to 4 strong mentor texts to go over as a class, key points that every mentor text is going to have is a clear thesis or position statement, organizing structure, and appropriate ranges of appeals. If you have to differentiate, and we all know we will, scaffold down to where they at least get that clear position or thesis and their structures. But let's be honest. Very few students get super fired up about writing. How do we get them to put pen to paper? Lots of scaffold. The first place we need to start is admitting that writing is hard. I mean, let's be honest. I've seen research that shows patients hooked up to MRIs, when they work a math problem, a certain part lights up in the brain. When they read, a different part lights up, but when they write, the whole thing lights up. Writing is hard, and science is even proving it. So what do? Roll up your sleeves and model writing. Right in front of them on your document camera or in your Word document that you project onto your screen. Let them see you struggle, and if you authentically write in front of them from a prompt that you don't allow yourself to think about before class, you will struggle. Students believe writing is magic, and they either have it or they don't. Like Gandalf, how did he even learn magic? You show them that it isn't magic, that it is in fact hard work, and the struggle is real, but it makes you better. Like hitting the gym. Working out is the only way to build those muscles. And let them see you learn from mistakes. So many of our kids have not had the growth mindset modeled for them. This is the time to do it. You're going to try big, you're going to fail big. Go ahead and do that. Let them see you create a messy draft with notes about what you need to go and find examples of or ideas you need to generate later because you're rolling right now. You can't stop. And they don't know that's a thing you can do. Let them see you do it. Let them see you experiment. As you go through a mentor text and notice good writing techniques, verbally cue them in to the fact that you're going to do that as you write. Let them see that you are not magic. You are doing the same very hard work that they are about to do. Everyone works hard at this, and that's what makes the reward sweeter at the end. That's great, curriculum guy, but how do I do that? I've said it already. Mentor texts. Besides seeing you write, mentors are their best bet for finding out what good writing looks like. Of course, it still looks like magic, and that's why you have to take it apart with them. You want to select 3 to 4 mentor texts that you look at as a class. I brought one strong example to Content Conversations with a piece about social media and shooting on the train. There are pieces they can start with from that. As you bring in other writers' persuasive pieces, use the same techniques to take apart that writing that we did with the first article. Bring in texts that rely on different organizational structures so that students have freedom to imitate different patterns, and texts with different kinds of evidence that will give them options to emulate when they support their positions. And they should have different styles and voices so that students have a wide variety of writers' moves to try for themselves. Moves like intentional use of syntax. Do they use long rolling sentences to describe? Do they use short sentences to punctuate? Find writers who make counter-arguments and concessions in different ways. Find writers who use figurative language for imagery to make a point, or who use poetic devices effectively in prose. That might even engage some of your more creative-minded students that never want to write those factual or opinion essays. Have a set of prompts that they might land on for their final essay in class, and encourage them to switch prompts and try different strategies in their writer's notebooks or journals as you give them time and a safe, ungraded space to experiment with new writing pieces and styles. Have them share with their peers and critique each other so that they feel they have a wider audience to write to. Schedule time while they draft or while they're working on another assignment in Canvas or other classwork that will keep the class busy, so you can have writers' conferences one-on-one with students or even in small groups. You might put students who are struggling with the same thing in groups together and talk to them. Have even more mentor text in your back pocket to show those writers options when they're struggling. And then have them revise. Well, that's easy to do, right? Well, having them write to multiple prompts while they experiment now comes back around to pay dividends. Because now they rewrite that paragraph with a different strategy to try, or use that strategy as a model to write an entirely different prompt. That's revision. Having them pull their experimental writing and form it into a final prompt, and rewriting what was for a different prompt into a new prompt or the new essay, or rewriting what was a different technique, that's revision too. And lastly, try the strategy from Kelly Gallagher's Writing for Adolescents. You bring a clean draft to class as they near the end of the writing process. You could say they're turning in their final copy just to make sure they bring that rough draft that's really clean, but then they may never trust you again, I'm just saying. Then do the read-around group strategy from Kelly Gallagher. Click the link in the description. It will take you to a blog that step-by-steps you through a guided revision process that will build community among your writers, that will give them an authentic audience, that will again show them that, hey, we can do this, and we have even good exemplars and mentors in our own class. I hope this helps. I really do. It'll have them reading and thinking and sharing like real writers. It will build community. And the desire to be one of the best essays picked by the whole class will motivate some of the students to try harder to write better. I hope it helps. Remember, write with them, coach them, put good writing in front of them, and show them how to emulate it. The only thing harder than writing is teaching writing. But doing hard things is totally worth it. And that's a life lesson we can always use a refresher on.